Hey, it's Nikki or Beach with My Babies. I just got back from my first consultation with the plastic surgeon, and as promised, I am making another video. Um, anyway, it was interesting. It was very interesting. If you don't like being naked, don't go to a plastic surgeon because there's a lot of nudity there for obvious reasons. Anyway, I met the plastic surgeon and I'm not going to share his name just because I'm being confidential with other people. But I met with my plastic surgeon. He's the same plastic surgeon that I saw when I went for my presentation on my weight loss surgery. So it was nice seeing him again. I'm thankful that he's my plastic surgeon just because I've heard really good things about him, and I've actually got to see his work and everything done. So anyway, there were a couple things presented. So my insurance will cover one procedure and one procedure only. And that's because I've got skin irritations. I've got skin eczema, and the excess skin on my abdomen can cause me a lot of discomfort and rash and pain. Associated with the rashes and everything. So basically, I can get one thing covered completely by my insurance, and the name of that is the hardest word in the world to pronounce. It's called the paniculectomy. It shouldn't be hard to say, but it is for me. I can't. So paniculectomy. Um, Basically, what the paniculectomy is, and I've got a picture thing here. So here I'll fold my brochure so you guys can kind of see a little bit. Okay, can you see here? All right, so the paniculectomy, this is a whole lot of other stuff going on here. But basically what they do is this first line right here, they go below the belly button, okay? And then they do an incision here, and they're going to connect the skin right here. So it takes basically the apron of skin off that overhangs. It doesn't really address excess skin above the belly button, though when when the skin gets tightened, obviously it'll tighten that as well. But any stretch marks or extra skin and things in the above aren't really addressed so much as it's just simply the removal of fat and skin from my lower abdomen. They have the belly button will be slightly altered. I guess he drew kind of like a little frowny face is probably what it'll end up looking like at the end. And where the incisions attach at the hips, I may have what are called dog ears, where the incision attaches, but they don't address the extra skin or any extra fat on your hip, so it may pucker there and create what's called a dog ear. Okay, so that's covered by my insurance. So at minimum, I am getting that done in a couple of months. The other options, because I have options, of course. It's like when you go to buy a car and you have a budget and you look at the car that's at your budget and it's a good car, but then the dealer shows you a couple of other cars and they're real nice, and there's things in those cars that you weren't really thinking about that you kind of thought, oh, that might be kind of, yeah, okay, that's kind of the case with plastic surgery. So yeah, I can't go ape crap with everything, obviously. I'm just looking at my abs. Anyway, the next thing, the option is to have what's basically called, the nickname's a tummy tuck, but let's go with the scientific term because it makes it sound a little more official. Abdominoplasty. Okay, now I can have an abdominoplasty, which would address not only the skin and the fat, but my abdominal wall is separated from when I had my kids. And so what they would also do there is they would sew together my abdominal wall and repair the separation. And they would also work with the extra skin above my belly button. So essentially, I love this. He said, well, we'll take the belly button and then we save it. And we put it back on. And that to me just sounded funny, like, oh, we put it aside, like my belly button, which is probably, I mean, it's the one thing that makes me human, because it's your belly button, and it lets you know that you were fed intravenously, but it's the stupidest part of your whole body. Like, so I just think it's funny. Anyway, I kind of lost a little bit at that part of the meeting, and I don't know if the surgeon thought I was crazy or not. I just couldn't stop laughing at that, just because I would look really weird without a belly button. I mean, I don't want to not have a belly button, but it just seemed funny that like you take it off and you put it aside to save for later. Was funny to me. Anyway, so my belly button would be put aside, and they would address all the stretch marks and the excess skin and the excess fat above the belly button as well as below the belly button, pull it all together, reattach my belly button so that my belly button would look normal and in the right place, which would be nice. And my muscle wall would be reattached, which would be great. And then also they can contour my abs a little bit to show off some of that, working out that I've been doing. It'd be nice to have my abdominal muscles to be seen a little bit more. It would be great since I actually have earned them. It would be nice to see them. So there's that procedure. Now, it doesn't alleviate the dog ear issue because the incision line is pretty much stay the same. Even though they go a little higher on the front abdominal, the incision, it stops at the same place. So I could still have what are called dog ears. Anyway, my insurance covers obviously everything for the I can never say it, paniculectomy. The insurance covers all that. So the additional costs, I would have to pay for anything beyond the time that it would take for the paniculectomy, as well as the additional anesthesia and things like that. So I got a breakdown of the costs. I'm not going to go over verbatim what the cost details are because everyone's insurance is going to be slightly different. But basically what it breaks down to is it would cost me about $6,000 additional on top of whatever my insurance is covering to do the tummy tuck. It's $6,000. That's, Anyway, it's good to know, though, that the one seriously optional thing in that 6,000, I could take it below 6,000 and do a little bit like upper 5 if I'm willing to not pay for the pain pump, the pain-controlled meds after. So that's good. That's something to think about, is cutting that. So my husband laughed at that when I told him about it because he's like, oh, there, we'll just let you just ride in pain in the bed. That'll be great. They'll give you some Tylenol. You'll be good to go. So anyway, so that's an option if I want to shave off $400. So anyway, it may happen. Maybe if I choose not to have my belly button reattached, that would save me some money too because, they did put it aside, but I could tell them just to take it away. Anyway, sorry, I just think that's funny. So with that, the picture. Okay, so it's harder to see, but with that, here's the line that they cut for the paniculectomy. They go a little higher right here, okay, with the tummy tuck. And then the incision ends right about back here. Okay, so this is where the dog ear would occur. Now, third option, okay, this is the Corvette option, right, when we're at the car lot. I don't need a Corvette, okay, but there are some things about this option that it's really dog ears. The dog ears for me are what I'm kind of struggling with. The other thing is I could get what's called a lower body lift, which is not uncommon for people after not uncommon for people after weight loss surgery. What a lower body lift would do is everything that would be included in the paniculectomy and the abdominoplasty, in that the upper abs would be addressed, they'd reattach my muscles, all the fat in the skin would be removed, things would be contoured a little bit more. But this time, they go around my back as well, taking out kind of like the spare tire of excess skin that kind of has been created. It also lifts my butt up a little bit, and my thighs up a little bit, which I do have extra skin on my butt and my thighs. I don't really care so much about those. I mean, obviously I do. I've always been self-conscious of my butt and my thighs. Do I think the lower body lift is going to take that totally away? No. Do I like that it takes away all of this like extra? I have extra skin on the sides, like over my hips. I hate it. I hate it because it's like a muffin top thing. It takes the muffin top away, which I would love. But it's a little bit more. It's more skin, more fat, and it basically solves a lot of stuff. The only weird side effect is it might make my butt flatter, which is kind of strange. I've got a pretty, we call it my ghetto booty. I've got like a really curvaceous butt, so I'm not real concerned about it flattening out because I doubt it's going to disappear. I've got plenty of butt back there to fill out my jeans. So that's not so much of a concern. My inner thighs, I am really self-conscious of those. The only time, though, that I would ever, be exposing anyone to any of that would be in the summer when I'm swimming. And so the question is, how vain am I? That should be like a variety show, like a game show. Like, how vain are you? What do I want to do? Okay. So the illustration for this, okay, is now they would do the incision up here and down here. Okay, and so all the spare tire area would get totally removed and it would get reconnected and I'd get resculpted. The cost for this, because again, insurance is covering my paniculectomy, the cost for this would be about about $10,400 for all of that. Big sticker shock on there. So I have to think, what I want to do. The last thing I want to do is have plastic surgery and then have these dog ears that aren't natural looking. That really bothers me. Also having a weird belly button, having a belly button at all kind of apparently bothers me. But having a frowny face belly button, I just see it like a warped belly button. It's like you're either going to have one it's just weird. So I don't know. Also, the idea of having the extra skin on my upper abdominals being dealt with would be kind of nice, just because I do have extra skin above the belly button that I would like to have remedied. So I got to think about, what I want to do. It's the recovery time's exactly the same, whether or not I go in for the paniculectomy or I do the lower body lift. It is exact same recovery time, exact same hospital time. It'd be one overnight stay. I would be under anesthesia longer with the lower body lift. I think that's the only additional risk. Other than that, everything is exactly the same as far as like post-op, recovery and risk time. So I gotta do some thoughts, and I'm gonna talk with my husband. I talked with my mom a little bit, and I emailed a friend of mine who is a plastic surgeon. I'd go to him if I could, but he's in Canada, so I'll email him. He'll probably be aghast with the cost with all the socialized medicine. I don't know, but I'll be interested, and that might actually be his email right now. I'll be interested to see kind of what advice I have, and I'm going to think about it. So I'm going to take a couple days to think about it, but the plan is to have the procedure done in June. So that's in a couple months, not in a couple months, like a month and a half. So I gotta figure some stuff out. But those are kind of the three things. And you can email me through YouTube if you want to voice some ideas. I'd rather you not berate me with negativity. So helpful emails would be great, or collaboration emails would be great. Other than that, I'll probably be seeing most of you on Facebook, since most of you are my Facebook friends, and you can private message me, please. Any conversations that you want. Please don't just post it on my wall. But yeah, so those are the things I'm thinking about, and we'll see. So anyway, I'll update you when more is known. See you later. Bye.